Okay, I want to talk about some of the things that the prophecy of the Antichrist, the blood moon, what it means. I didn't go into deep detail about this. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to go into deeper detail about exactly what this means. Okay. Now, along with it, I want to read some of what Daniel said here in chapter 8, and I might as well go through the detail that Daniel talked about the Antichrist, because this blood moon, the Lord told me that this blood moon is about the rising of the Antichrist. It's about him being established over the monetary system of the world. It's about his flag being raised over the monetary system of the world. Okay, and then you're going to see how that's going to take place. The Lord told me, one of the things He told me was that by the year 2017 in America, they were going to try to implement the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, into our society through our BMV, our Bureau of Motor Vehicles, our license branch. Okay, so, and this is what Daniel was talking about, the Antichrist coming into power. This is what it says, Daniel 8, and the angel Gabriel was explaining to Daniel about what his vision was meant. I'm not going to go through the vision, all that, because take too long, but this is what he was saying. Verse 18, I think it starts here. Let's go. He says, "Now as he was speaking with me, I was asleep." Okay, let's go down. "And he said, Behold, I will make thee to know what shall be the last end of the indignation, for the time appointed the end shall be." Okay, he's talking about not the end of the world. He's talking about the end of men's sins, or the end of the era, right before Jesus comes and takes over in the millennial reign. So it's an end of the free society of men as far as sin goes. Okay, so it's an end of that era. It's the end of life as we know it on planet Earth. That's what he was referring to here. Okay, verse 20. "The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia." Okay, and I'm thinking that's Russia and Iran. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm kind of going back to my thoughts about what I've learned about this prophecy being fulfilled over the last days. It's more likely that's who he's referring to. Okay, verse 21. "And the rough goat is the king of Garcia." Now Garcia is Greece today. "And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king." Okay, now don't pay too much attention to the deep detail of this, unless you are, of course, someone who is deep into prophecy. Then you can you pretty much know more about it than some of us do. But I'm just showing you this is what the Lord is pointing to me as far as prophecy being taken today, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. So let's just get through this. He says, "Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up." Now he's referring to the Antichrist right here. "And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power." He's talking about, of course, his father, the devil. "And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. That's referring to Israel. And of course, he's not talking about destroy them totally, okay, but he's going to give them a hard time. He's going to kill some of those people there, okay. Verse 25, and though his policy also, and through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Okay, this is talking about our monetary system. Is what I'm going to be talking about here in just a minute, and it's talking about causing the world to wander after him, because he is he seems like he's magical as far as making things work, putting them together, making things work, and the land to prosper. Okay, he's going to make the land he's going to make the material things to prosper. He's not going to prosper the Spirit of God, but he's going to prosper the natural things of men. Okay, causing craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace he shall destroy many. And everybody's going to say peace, peace, like the Bible talks about, and destruction is going to come. He's going to come in and try to weed out all the Christians, and he's going to try to turn everybody to one way. He's going to try to erase every religion off the face of the planet, and he's going to have the media with him. The liberal media is going to be with him on this, okay? And a lot of the other medias. If you have a media and you're not with him, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so, verse 26. And the vision of his evening and the morning, which, it was told true, whereas shut up. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And he was talking about, it's these things aren't going to be revealed until the last days. We are in the last days. God is revealing some of these things to us, and the Lord gave me a dream about this Antichrist. I seen it was like a pyramid, like on our dollar, sort of, kind of like that, but skinnier and taller. Okay. And I don't know what that meant, but I seen a flag raised up over top of that, and in the background in the sky was a blood moon. Okay, and then immediately after that happened, I was in this other place where they were talking about signing for the mark, and of course this was the mark of the beast they were talking about. So in that, the Lord has said that this blood moon is about the rising or the strengthening or the coming into power of the Antichrist. He's going to control our not just ours, but he's going to control all of the monetary systems around the world. He's going to try to. Okay? Now the Bible has said that some of those will escape out of his hand. He won't be able to control the whole world. Okay? So, and he will be in this position ruling for 42 months. 42 months he'll rule pretty much the whole world, but not all of it. And now who's going to take the mark? The people that are already wrapped up in government, those people will take the mark. Like the liberals. The liberals are so wrapped up in the government making their way for them. They'll take the mark just like that. If we was to go down to the license branch and they say you can't drive your car unless you take this RFID chip in your hand or in your forehead, and more than likely, I'm guessing somewhere around 70% of the people, and that will be probably as much as 95% of the liberals would take it, and 20 or 30% of the conservative people would more than likely take it, and their excuse would be they can't survive without it. Because listen, now you can't go to the doctor without it. The Bible says that you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade. Now that's anything. Your medical system is a commodity to the United States, to our government, to the people that work here. It's their living. They make a living at keeping your, I know that's not right, but they make a living at keeping your health in shape, and some of them not very well. They don't do very good at it. But you can't buy, sell, or trade. You won't be able to go to the doctor. You won't be able to buy the groceries at the grocery store. You won't be able to work in a factory. You can't buy a car. You can't have a driver's license. You can't do anything. You're the same as a 3-year-old child. Unless, okay, that's pretty much, we would leave like something like less than 30% of the people of the United States. And the media right away will start turning against those people. They will call them the resistance and things like that. Pretty much what you saw, if you're my age, pretty much what you saw growing up with the last days scenarios. And pretty soon the government will do things trying to get you to force you to take this mark, because they'll say it's good for your health. They'll say it's good for your to keep up with your children. You know, why don't you want to do this? Because it's good for everybody. You're just resisting prosperity. You're causing our nation, and the news media will say this. They get on there. You're causing our nation to have harder times, and the people will turn their hearts against you. And those old Christians, and where the Bible says that you shall be hated of the world for my name's sake, will be fulfilled when that kind of thing starts happening. And listen, Christians, if we don't, we can slow this down, and we can call it, you know, the Bible even talks about Joel chapter 2. It says, who knows if the Lord will turn away from these things that's going to happen and leave a blessing in its place. It's possible. The Bible says all things are possible to those who believe. All of this stuff is possible for us to avoid. All of it is. Every single one. A friend of mine was talking today about prophecies is given, promises is given with a condition. A lot of them are, and so are prophecies, you know. So we can avoid this, and we don't have to suffer. We don't have to suffer. We can get on our knees. We can begin to fast. We begin to pray, and this is what I'm doing. I'm not just coming here telling you to fast and I'm doing nothing, but I have been fasting and I have been praying. And I'm not going to tell anybody how long or anything like that. It's just what I'm doing between me and God. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a longer fast than I've ever done, and it's going to be a longer prayer session than I've ever done. And I'm going to get more intense in it as we get closer to time, as we get closer to September the 28th, 23rd, whatever day that is. I'm going to be doing much more fasting and much more praying that God will begin to move, because this is the time. You know, Jesus is getting ready to wrap this place up. This doesn't have to be a hard thing. You know, the United States is called Mystery Babylon because this does not have to happen. Alrighty. Okay, God bless. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Another great message right here on Cross in the Middle Ministry.